I'm going to teach you how to teach your nonverbal autistic child the sign for all done and have it stick over time. And I think modeling the sign is a great start. So when he's finished eating his cereal, you could demonstrate the sign for him, all done. But the truth is, our kids, and especially those with imitation deficits, don't always copy our example. And you could be modeling the sign for him consistently, but he might not sign it back. He might always be waiting for your help before signing. Today, I'm going to teach you how to teach him the sign for all done using ABA principles that are powerful, effective, and that last over time. Let's talk about it. If you don't know me, my name is Celeste. I've been in the field of ABA therapy for over 12 years. I coach and empower parents on how to better connect with their autistic child, how to really get in their world and teach meaningful everyday skills. Let's talk about the true mastery of what the sign for all done looks like, okay? Here's an example. It looks like you holding up another spoonful of yogurt up to your child's mouth, and then he signs all done. He's saying no more. Or if you're giving your child a bath, let's say you scoop the cup, you're about to pour water over his head, and instead of screaming or hitting you, he signs all done. He's saying stop. Or maybe you're playing some music and your child's covering his ears and he looks at you and he goes, he's saying, I want to be all done with this. Turn it off. Right? And so this sign is so powerful because this sign is so powerful when it comes from a place of independence, not you asking him, do you want to be all done or show me all done? It's really an independent communication from your child, especially when they're nonverbal, right? Okay, so what we're doing is we're teaching a new pattern. The pattern is whenever something yucky happens, something aversive, I don't like it, is happening, this sign makes it go away. Let's talk about how learning happens in 3 parts. We're going to break it down, okay? So 1, something aversive happens. Yuck, I don't like this thing. 2, your child signs. And 3, you're going to remove it. You remove the awful thing that they don't want. You're essentially teaching your child how to achieve relief by removing something that's happening around them that they don't like, okay? And by ample practice opportunities, when you practice this over and over and over, through that repetition, your autistic child slowly starts to learn the new pattern. Oh, when something awful is happening, I don't like it, I do this, and then mom takes it away. That feels pretty good. So you want to start by teaching this sign using 4 steps. So number 1, you're going to identify his motivation. So identify his nonverbal cues when he really does want something aversive to be removed. This could look like him covering his ears. It could look like whining. It could look like pushing something away. It could look like turning his head away. So you're tuning into those nonverbal cues. That's step 1. You as a parent, you now have a trained eye. You're like, oh, motivation is present. That's step 1. Number 2, physically help him sign. You're going to get his little hands. All done. Number 3, label the word all done. So you're going to label it and we'll talk about why. And last, you're going to remove that uncomfortable thing. So again, your child is pairing the sign with what it actually means, being all done with something. That's what we want. So over time, you want to fade your physical help by lessening your pressure on his little hands and slowly promote him with more independence. Let's dissect these 4 steps a little more. Let's talk about the yogurt example. So you're feeding your child, you're spoon feeding him some yogurt, right? You scooped it up, you're about to present it to him, and then he kind of turns away. That is his unique nonverbal cue that he doesn't want anymore. He does in fact want to be all done. And this step one, I think, is the hardest for parents because, and especially if you're a parent of a nonverbal autistic child, you're so good at reading your you're so good at reading your baby's cues because you're a fantastic mom and you can read him like the back of your hand. And I think as moms, we're almost programmed to meet our baby's needs right away. But for this first step, it's really challenging you to identify, oh, he wants to be all done. And before you remove it, putting in that pause and inserting a teaching opportunity for the sake of learning. Okay. So each child will be different. You want to identify his unique nonverbal cues. What is it for your child? What is it for your son or daughter that tells you, oh, they want to be all done? So you're here with the spoon. Let's say you see it. You see him turn away. Next, physically help him sign. So get his little hands and then you label all done. Then you remove the yogurt. You put it away. You say, oh, okay, all done. Let's get down off the high chair. Let's clean up. Second example, pouring water over his head. So you're in the bath. You're going to pour it over his head. You hear the whining. You see him kind of start to get a little agitated. Physically help him. Get his little hands. And in this step, if your child has never used this sign before, right? It might be the case where he needs that full physical help, like you fully helping his little hands make the sign. But what you want to do is, after practice opportunity 2, 3, 4, 5, you slowly, gently want to lessen your pressure on his little hands. You want to fade your help over time. So you kind of hold his hands and then he kind of finishes the sign. So you're lessening your help, you're kind of backing off and promoting that independence for your child. Last example is music playing. And also just to consider, like, these are just examples that I came up with. This doesn't mean you have to practice with yogurt, water over the head, and music playing. It's just a way to teach the skill, to teach the concept, and then hopefully you can generalize and find your own opportunities throughout the day. So with that said, the last example is music playing. And you see him covering his ears. You're like, oh, physically help him sign. You get his little hands, all done. Notice the label. The parent is saying all done. What happens a lot of the times is when kids start to babble or start to emit vocal language, sometimes you see them start to copy the label. And then last, of course, don't forget to remove that uncomfortable thing. We're pairing the sign with him actually being all done. So it's important to turn off the music. So parents, your homework, start today during mealtime. Okay? This is probably the easiest one because you'll clearly see those strong behavioral cues that your baby is full or doesn't want to eat anymore. My opinion would be to start during mealtime, and then over time, your eye's going to get more sharp, like a sharpened eye, and you're going to be able to identify more opportunities throughout the day when motivation is present for all done. And you're going to be able to generalize the skill across multiple activities, across multiple places in the home, and across multiple people. To recap, we talked about how your child will learn the sign for all done as part of a 3-part sequence, a pattern. I experience something I don't like, I sign, and then mom removes it for me. We also talked about the 4 steps to teach this new pattern. Identify motivation, physically help him sign, label all done, and then remove the uncomfortable thing. Don't forget to fade your help over time. So across the days, lessen your pressure on his hands to promote that independence. If you learned something new from this video, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. From your favorite BCBA, keep showing up, keep doing the work. You got this.